So I just watched two videos. One of them was called The Magic Washing Machine, and the other one was about the greatest injustice. Um, and while I was watching it, I realized that there was a common theme to both of them, and it was talking about poverty and how people who live beneath the poverty line live, and those who are above the poverty line live. So in the washing machine, the speaker broke it down into, I believe it was four different categories. So the first category was those who are living below the poverty line, and that's the poverty line is about $2 a day. So there are of 7 billion people in the world, there are 2 billion people that are living below the poverty line. And the washing machine was talking a lot about energy consumption and just the stuff like that, mostly energy consumption. And so he was saying that there are about 2 billion people who live below the poverty line, and about 5 billion who live above it. And within the 5 billion, there are people who live at what he calls the airline, which is you're living at above $80 a day. And that consists of about 1 billion people. So those are the people who are just extremely wealthy and some of the most wealthy in the world. And so that makes up about 1 billion people. So then you have 4 billion people who fall in between that. And even within that, there is, I can't remember exactly what the line is called, but it talks about how you're living in the washing machine. That's what it was. He's talking about the washing machine line, essentially. And it's for those that have a washing machine. And that's living at about $40 a day, which seems like a lot, but it's pretty average in the middle class. So that makes up about 1 billion people. And then you have 2 billion people who are in between, where they have electricity, but they don't have a lot of the luxuries that we associate with basic living, like a washing machine or being able to fly on an airplane. And so he was talking about that a lot, and how there are so many people who, with that energy consumption, the 1 billion people that are above the airline, which is the $80 a day, that they use a majority of energy. And so he broke it down into units, and they used more units of electricity than the other 6 billion people combined. And that was just kind of shocking to me. You don't ever think about that, the energy consumption portion of it, at least. I mean, that there are people who are living in poverty, that there are people who don't have everything that we do, that we associate with a basic life. But you don't think about the energy consumption side of it. Energy is a limited resource as well. And then in the other video, the woman was actually talking about how Bill Gates was asked about potential for countries and nations, or for nations, I guess. And he said that if you're not using at least half of your resources available to you, then there's no way you're going to get anywhere close to how did he phrase it? That you're not going to get anywhere close to your true and full potential as a nation. And that's something that hit me as well, because you have these resources. Let's use money as an example, which is what one of the examples that they use in that second video about the greatest injustice. And those who live in poverty aren't utilizing what they have wisely. So the money that they do have, a good portion of it goes to education, so that their children or themselves can get educated, which is a totally worthwhile cause. That's awesome. And education is super important, as we've been talking about for so long in this class. But a good portion of it as well that doesn't go to education goes to tobacco and alcohol and other drugs and things that are not necessary and are not good for you. So to have that as, what a good portion of your income is going to is not going to benefit you or the nation at all, and it's going to keep you in a poverty state. So, just thinking about that, most of us are not living in poverty. I'm not going to say everyone because I'm sure we all know, not that we all know someone, but there are people who are living below the poverty line, and we know that they're out there. So we obviously are not all in a place where we can, understand. We haven't all experienced a nation that's living in poverty, but we need to be aware of how we, citizens of the United States, can help and what it is that our nation is trying to do to assist these poverty nations. And we, while these kids are fighting for their education, we have so much information available to us, and we need to make sure that we're staying informed so that we're not taking advantage of the opportunities that we have. We have these opportunities and these resources. We were talking about earlier, these resources to educate ourselves and inform ourselves of things other than our own nation. And as we continue to be involved in this globalization that is ongoing, we need to make sure that we are an active participant and that we are constantly informing ourselves and educating ourselves so that we're not taking for granted what we've been given and what's talked about in these videos about living below the poverty line and just making sure that we know what's going on. That's it.